Hello everyone, welcome to the new video tutorial of bioentac. In the last session we have learned about simple permanent tissue and merismatous tissue system. In this class we will be dealing about the complex tissue system that will be xylem and phloem. Before going to the video, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, subscribe to it and enable the bell icon to get daily notification. So without wasting time, let's get on with the video. So, complex tissue system. First, let me explain what a complex tissue system is. In the case of simple permanent tissue, we saw a similar cells doing a similar function, that is common function. Whereas in the case of complex tissue system, different kinds of cells come together and perform a common function. For example, if you're taking the example of xylem, there is Xylem, parenchyma and fibers. So fibers, which is the example of parenchyma, they all come together and do a similar function. That is in the case of xylem, that is conduction of water. Similarly, in the case of phloem, that is the main function is conduction of food materials. They all different kinds of cells come together and helps in conducting of food materials. So in xylem, we have to learn about four of its components, that is tracheids, fibers, vessels, wood, parenchyma, all together, which helps in conduction of water. And in the case of phloem, we have to learn about sieve tube, companion cells, fibers, parenchyma, all together, which helps in the common function, that is conduction of food materials. So first, let's discuss about xylem. So first, focusing on xylem, the first element of xylem, that's component of xylem, we have to learn is tracheids. Tracheids is an elongated tube-like cells. The important feature is that it is non-living. So this is a non-living component of a xylem, and it's elongated tube-like cells which has a bigger cavity and helps in conduction of water. The main function is the conduction of water. The second one is that it has lignified walls, that is it can be viewed by using the saffron stain and through a microscope. So it has a thick lignified walls, and another important point related to the entrance is that it forms the main conducting element in gymnosperms and ferns. That is, in gymnosperms and ferns, xylem vessels are absent. There, the main component which helps in conduction of water is tracheids. So that is an important entrance point we have to focus on regarding tracheids. And apart from that, we all know that its main function is conduction of water. But apart from conduction of water, it also gives strength to the plants. So that's all we have to focus on tracheids in the entrance point of view. Now, coming on to the second component of xylem, that is fibers. It is also a non-living component of xylem, and it is elongated cells just like tracheids, but the difference is that the lumen is very small in fibers. So the main function is giving strength to the body, because it does not help in conduction of water. So the main function of fibers in the case of xylem is to provide strength to the plants. Now, sometimes you can see a transitional tracheids between fibers and tracheids. That is in between fibers and tracheids, there is a transitional system known as fiber tracheids. So there are two types of fiber tracheids, that is libriform wood fiber and gelatinous tracheids. It is actually not two types. The first one is that libriform wood fiber. That means it has thick walls. It is most commonly seen in most of the plants. The common tracheids is libriform wood fiber. That is, it has thick lignified walls. Whereas in the same case of certain other plants, you can see a gelatinous layer around this fiber tracheids, that is known as gelatinous tracheids. So that is seen in an example, that is Quercus alba. So this point, that is Quercus alba and gelatinous tracheids, is very important regarding to fibers. So that is what we have to focus here. Sometimes you can see a gelatinous layer around fiber tracheids, and that is known as gelatinous tracheids, and it is seen in Quercus alba. I'm repeating this because it is a really important point regarding to the entrance. So that is all we have to briefly focus on fibers regarding entrance. Coming on to the third component of xylem, that is vessels. You might have heard that the vessels are the important conducting element of the plant in lower classes, but the vessels are the main component of water conducting system in the angiosperms, because in gymnosperms and ferns these things are absent, that is, vessels are absent. So vessels are mostly seen in angiosperms, and is also known as trachea. So sometimes in the entrance question paper you might see the word or term trachea instead of vessels. So do not confuse it, trachea and vessels are the same, and it is commonly seen in angiosperms. Now there are openings present in this vessels, because it is like a tube-like system which connects water. The openings are known as perforations, and there are two types of perforation. That is simple perforation, that means only one single opening, and multiple perforations means multiple openings are present. So that is what the term perforations mean. Now we have said that the angiosperms, in angiosperms vessels are same, but there are exceptional cases. Biology is always the case of exception. So there are exceptional cases in which angiosperm does not have vessels, and that is in 3 families mainly, that is Winteraceae, Trochodendroceae, Tetrasendroceae. These 3 families do not have vessels. So that is an exceptional case, and that is really important regarding vessels in terms of entrance point. So now again exceptional point is coming, that is in ferns we have said that vessels are absent, but some ferns have, that is pteridophytes have pteridophytes have vessels, that is Selaginella, Equisetum, Marsillia, and Pteridium. These 4 names should be you should note it down, because you might hear these questions in the entrance. So that is also an entrance point question. So that is all we have to briefly learn about vessels regarding entrance point of view. So now let's focus on the last part, that is the wood parenchyma. Now before going on to the wood parenchyma, I forgot a point to mention in the vessels. The monocot stems and leaves lack vessels. So that is an important point of view regarding the vessels, but not in all cases, in most of the cases. In general case I'm saying, in monocots the vessels are absent in stems and leaves. So that should be noted down. Now going on to the 4th part, that is the wood parenchyma. The wood term is related to xylem, because you might hear that the wood term instead of xylem or secondary xylem in the entrance question paper. So that is why the term wood parenchyma. So it is the only living component of the xylem. So that is also an important point. Now what the main function is, that it's a living tissue, and it helps in upward conduction of water and also storage of food materials. So that is an important function. Now the vertical system of xylem parenchyma is known as wood parenchyma, and the radial or transverse system of parenchyma is known as ray parenchyma. So that's the 2 terms, that is wood parenchyma and ray parenchyma. And sometimes the materials, the biological molecules like tannins, resins, etc. also are secreted in the wood parenchyma. So that is briefly how we have to focus on wood parenchyma. So that's all for today's video. If you have any confusions or doubts, please mail to bioentac@gmail.com. So wait till next video. Bye.